So we're gonna go over the squat as one of the foundational movements that you use every single day, getting off the toilet, getting out of the couch, sitting up in your chair. So these are the points of the performance that you can use to educate yourself and to go through the movement. We're gonna start with our feet, shoulder width distance apart, toes turned out slightly. Mid-foot is where we're putting most of our weight. We're gonna push our hips down and back, getting as low as possible, looking for the hip crease below the top of the thigh. Once we sit that in that bottom position, we're gonna stand all the way up. Think of keeping your arms out in front of you, elevated overhead. As you sit back and down, push the knees out to track over the toes, hit the bottom range of motion, and stand up. If you've never done squats and you don't feel comfortable at the bottom, use an object like a ball, a couch, a chair. You can push the butt back, touch the object. If you don't get all the way down, that's okay. Hit that end range of motion and stand up. Think of opening the hips all the way. For today's stretching, we're gonna incorporate a 30-second bottom hold squat. So get wherever you're comfortable. Again, feet underneath those hips, or shoulders, Get down as far as possible. I like to take my elbows, place them inside my knees, and push my knees out, palms together, and we're gonna hold here for 30 seconds. While you're in this position, allow yourself to lift the torso, lift the chest, and stay elevated. If you can't get down to the bottom and you're using an object, that's fine. You'll be a little bit higher. You can even place your forearms on your knees or inner thighs. You can just kind of shift your weight from side to side. The intention of this is to allow yourself to get comfortable in the bottom of the squat. Open up that hip joint and allow yourself to breathe. Don't hold your breath for this 30 seconds. So as you're implementing this stretch, pull the chest up as much as you can if you have the mobility and positioning to do so. Got about 5 more seconds. And then we'll come out of it. From there, we're going to move into some cat-cows. So similar to the bird dogs, hands are underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, and I'm going to press through my arms, round my upper back as much as I can, separating the shoulder blades, and then I'm going to drop my belly, lift my chin, look as high as I can to the sky. We'll do a total of 5 reps in this position. Try to untuck the toes, make sure the back toes are nice and long. Again, you're pushing through your arms, pushing through your knees. This is a slow and controlled motion. This is a great exercise to include for your back. Work those smaller muscles, stabilize your muscles. Total of 5 reps. Again, a cat and a cow is 1 rep. So make sure you're hitting both positions. After that, we're going to come to the floor and we're going to do a seated straddle. Get your legs as wide as you can, elevate them, or push them out however you feel comfortable. We're gonna start 30 seconds to the left. So if you're very flexible, keep your back straight, hinge from the hip, reach to the toes, and fold yourself down. If you're not as flexible, a little bit tighter, allow that back and belly to round forward, hands on both sides. You can either grab your toes, shin or calf, or knee, inner thigh. Again, you're working that torso, chest to that thigh. Arms are long depending on how you feel comfortable. 30 seconds here. Breathe into this position. Wherever you're at, that's okay. Just focus on where you're at right now. Deep breath in and deep breath out. After the 30 seconds are up, you'll slowly come on up, and then we're going to switch, same thing, opposite side, folding yourself down. Again, if you can only get to the thigh, perfectly fine. Knee, calf, toes, wherever you're able to get your body into that position. Allowing yourself to breathe into that stretch. The closer you can get your torso to the thigh, top of the leg, the more of a stretch you'll feel on that lower back, mid-back. Again, 30 seconds here. Once you're finished with the 30 seconds, we'll slowly come forward. Again, if you can reach and fold yourself forward as much as you can, totally fine. Feet could roll in slightly if you want. You can flex the feet if you feel more comfortable. Again, wherever you're at. Clearly, I'm a little tight, so my back is rounded. If you're very flexible, keep that back flat, hinge from the hip, and then reach forward. If you're not able to get here, and you're only up here, you're really tight, grab the inner thighs, or knees, or outside, and just pull yourself forward. Try to drop the chin, drop the upper body. If you have a kettlebell or a dumbbell, you can use that as leverage to pull yourself down. Relax the head if you can. You can actively lean into it and then come out, lean into it and then come out. 1 full minute here. This is one of my favorite stretches. Highly recommended if you sit a lot or don't stretch a lot. This is a great warm-up or cool down after a workout. After the minute, we'll come up and then we'll do another set of those cat-cows. I'll show from a side angle. So again, here, rounding as much as I can, and then dropping the belly, arching that chest, arching that rib cage out, arching that lower back, chin to the sky, eyes to the sky. Again, hold for about 2 seconds at each position. Also think of tucking the pelvis and then pushing the pelvis out as you get into the extension. So this is flexion, rounding of the spine. This is extension, opposite direction of that flexion. Good to go through range of motion and test it out, see where you feel, and get comfortable in that position. After those 5 reps, we're going to do puppy dog. So puppy dog is similar to child's pose. From a side angle, we're going to keep our hips on top of our knees, and then we're going to walk our arms forward as much as possible, palms facing down, in this position. So from the front, again, arms are about width of the mat. And I'm trying to untuck my toes, drop my armpits to the floor, chin or forehead, depending on how flexible you are. If this is very intense for your arms, you can go wider than your mat. It'll alleviate that stretch. If it's too intense for the upper body, push your butt back to the heels slightly, kind of a modified version of child's pose. Again, holding this for 1 minute. While you're here, toes can be untucked or tucked. The focus is on your breath work, so breathing into the nose and out the nose, sinking in this position. You may feel one shoulder, one arm a little bit tighter. For me, it's my left, it's a little tighter, so I can lean into that shoulder slightly for a couple of seconds and then come back to center, come to the other side a little bit for a few seconds, come back to center. Focus on breathing in through your nose, and as you inhale through your nose, fill your chest, belly, and lungs as much as you can. And as you exhale, exhale all that are out, slowly sink into the pose a little bit more. Breath work is important as you stretch or do mobility yoga. It allows you to sink into that stretch slightly deeper. Make sure you slowly, when you come out of it, after a minute, slowly come out of it. You can either bring hands back, shimmy yourself out of it, and be very gentle. Then we'll come back up to that plank, tabletop position, and one more set of the cat-cows. Nice and fluid, range of motion. If you feel like you want to hold this pose 1 more second more, you can. But make sure palms are underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, and taking your spine to that full range of motion, whatever you're capable of. I might have done an extra rep, but that's okay. I'll take it. Beautiful. So that will wrap up this series of stretches. Again, bottom squat is great for the hips. The seated straddle is also great for the hips, hamstring, quads, inner thighs. And then those back exercises are huge. Continue to implement them. I do them every single day.